Welcome to the first episode of Real Talk with Orlando and Damon. We got this platform, man, that we just reaching out to all the men that is suffering from depression, suicidal, different walks of life. We are reaching out to them, different problems that they might be going through. We are building a platform where they can come and they can get the treatment that they need as men, because we don't have many platforms, if any, out there that is doing this. So we're trying to cater to our brothers with a platform that'll offer them something that can help them. And this is the host, Damon. I'm gonna let him take it from now. Damon, just get him an input on it, man.
Appreciate it. Real talk, like Orlando just mentioned, we're gonna be talking to so many men from all different walks of life, hitting topics that really men don't want to discuss. You know, not only we're not going to just discuss these matters, but we're going to offer solution. We're going to offer therapy right after the interviews with these young men. Right. So we don't want this to be a platform where we're just talking. We want to have a solution. We want to offer a solution to these men. Why do you feel as though men don't want to talk about hard topics?
I think a lot of it starts when we're boys. Right. You know, when we're boys, we're taught to, to be tough, to not show our feelings, not to express the way we feel. And, trying to hold this toughness about this tough image that we're given when we're boys, it kind of makes us, it's put us in a shell. So when it put us in a shell, we're not going to want to talk about these issues. We're not going to want to, when it's time to cry, guess what? We're scared to cry because we're taught that we don't supposed to cry as boys. So when we grow up as adults, as grown men, we hold all this stuff in and we walk around, man, and we're about to explode. So this platform is going to offer that to us where we're able to express our feelings and get these things off our chest.
Right. Why do you feel so many men, they're hurting out there? They have nowhere to turn, treating people so bad because of what they're going through. Why are men suffering?
Men suffering, man, I think truly it's because we pretty much has been stripped of a lot of things as men. And so a lot of us don't even feel like men anymore. We feel like we pretty much been kicked to the curb and we don't have anywhere where we can go and nobody's going to rescue us. Right. Nobody's going to make us feel like men again. Right. So we walk around with anger, right? And how can we love when we had this anger built up on the inside, and how can we show each other love as men? We can't show our wives the type of love. We can't show our kids the type of love that we should as men because we never had it. It was never shown to us. So again, that's what this platform is going to present.
Wow, good point. So the relationship piece you just mentioned, the divorce, do you feel as though with divorce with men is because of the upbringing, the childhood?
I think a lot of it has, it has to do with that, and I think a lot of it has to do with the way society has, they have put so much strain on men and so much pressure on us as men, as you're supposed to do this and you're supposed to do that in a marriage. And when it's not done or when we can't do it, that's when a lot of time depression kick in because we got this pressure on us to telling us we're supposed to be doing this in a marriage, and when we can't do it, that's when all that trouble comes. Right. And again, this platform is going to provide that type of treatment to get men back into place.
That's right. And what is your perspective as far as a relationship when you come together as one and get married, have a family? How do you feel as far as the uniting coming together and the splitting of everything? That's one of the biggest topics that men go through. You and I discussed it some time ago.
Exactly.
But how do you really feel? Do you feel as though that's one of the main components of why men divorce is because of women go into the relationship, hey, it's supposed to be this way, it's not supposed to be 50-50, it's supposed to be da-da-da-da. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think we see how society, again, has set everything up. Men and women, we go off in the marriage with two different expectations. They're not the same expectations, right? Because society don't treat us the same.
Right.
So as a man, a lot of times we get divorced because we start, once we get into the marriage, we start looking at these things and we start, it's almost like we look at it like, this is not fair to me. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be fair to me in the courts either.
Right.
So those things plays a big part in the man's brain. And a lot of times that's what a lot of men stay single. That keeps a lot of men single because of that too.
Okay.
You know, because we looking at this thing beforehand before we get into it, and we said, man, do I want to take on that?
Right.
Do I want to sign off on that?
Right.
So a lot of times we stay single because of that. And when you do that, you looked at as the bad guy.
Right. and myself come from experience being married twice. I get it. I tell everybody every relationship is different.
Right.
I was raised to be married. That's all I knew. I was never the dating type. I always wanted to get married, and I did that. So moving forward, I get it. And I think society has a bill that, oh, the guy's supposed to do this.
Right.
And I think whatever works for you, it works for you.
Right.
I believe when you have so many people in your ear, men, ladies, that's where the confusion come into play. And I just feel as though there's nothing wrong with talking to an individual, but when you have so many people involved in your business, it creates problems. My point of view of a marriage, I tell men, it works for what works for me. I may sit back and say, hey, from my experience, hey, what does 50-50 really look like? What is 50-50? My thing is, I go into a marriage, what is going to work for us?
Right.
You know, so again, I believe that's why a lot of men don't get married. They're afraid of the commitment. And then that's why you have so many young ladies, they get upset. Well, what's wrong? What's wrong with me? Why you don't want to commit? So again, do you think is that stigma that, hey, we going into this is how it's supposed to be? That's why the men sit back and say, oh no, marriage not for me.
Right, because like I said, y'all need to watch my video 50-50. But
yes,
the 50-50, and I breaks it down even in that video. 50-50 is whatever you bring into the table should be mutual. It should be the same energy that we bring to the table. And when you mention that, like I have mentioned that to a lot of females back in the day, and they don't like that term.
Right.
The reason why they don't like that term because the stigma has been placed there that it shouldn't be a 50-50. You know, I have got, I'm not dating a roommate. I'm not dating, all of that. But 50-50 is whatever we bring into the table. If I need to cook, you at work, if I need to cook and prepare dinner for the family, that's what I need to do. That's what 50-50 means. Whatever needs to be done, that's what we need to meet at the center.
Gotcha.
Not you coming on my side all the way or me coming out. We need to meet at the center and make it happen to make the family better.
Wow. Okay.
That's 50-50.
That's 50-50.
It's not a certain amount. It's not a certain, if I need to cook, I'm going to cook. Okay. It's not even if I need to cook. I'm going to cook anyway because I cook by myself. Right. See, that's what the 50-50 is about. Right. If I'm single, I'm doing everything on my own.
Right.
So I'm doing 100%. So if you're single, you're doing 100%. And when we come together, we no longer need to be doing 100% because I got someone that's going to help me and she have someone that's going to help her. So that's 50-50. We meet in the middle. So you saving, I'm saving.
Right.
That's how the mentality should be. But when the mentality is like, nah, I don't want that 50-50. I ain't no roommate and all that. Then I can't touch that at all.
Right. Got you. So you've been in several relationships, but you have never been married, correct?
Right.
Does marriage scare you?
It don't scare me because the reason why it won't scare me because I'm not going to do it unless I know, Okay. So I take my time with it. You know what I'm saying? So it really don't scare me to make that commitment. It just the way I think on the whole situation, like what I just mentioned about the 50-50, right. It's not many is going to want to do that.
Right.
So it's real easy for me to make the decision to remain single.
Gotcha. Wow. Okay. Why there's so much infidelity, man? When it comes to men, what's going on out here?
Well, one thing, men haven't figured it out yet. Wow. Men haven't figured out how to control himself yet. Now, I'm not going to all put it on men because, hey, when we walking out the door, we seeing,
right?
What we seeing. Right. So it don't make it easy.
Right.
But at the same time, what a man has to do, he has to get himself together in that department. once a man gets himself together in that department sexually, to where he can walk out the door and he can see a half naked woman and feel, you know, I look at plenty of beautiful women. I say, man, she beautiful.
Right.
I go home.
Right.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So a man has to get that in his head that they're gonna keep producing beautiful women.
Right.
You know, so you have to get a woman that you love, learn to love her, and just that one woman. And it'll become, and once you get yourself in that position where you can do that, then it shouldn't be no, and that's man or woman, it shouldn't be no infidelity. That's man or woman.
Wow.
That's man or woman.
Both.
Both. A woman should be able to handle herself in a manner to where if she got a man that's treating her right and she love him, she should just stick with him and she should be able to just love him.
Okay.
And just do different things to brighten up the marriage.
Okay. Real talk.
And that's real talk.
Deal breaker for you in a relationship.
Deal breaker for me when you don't want to bring 50-50 to the table.
You are honest 50-50. Okay, so that's the main deal breaker.
Major, because I done been on too many dates.
Okay.
And I got to put that out. This real talk, so
yeah,
y'all might. I'm not gonna be the one y'all might don't like.
It's okay.
But it's real talk, and you know, I done been on too many dates, man, to where. A lot of young ladies, they ask me on the date. You know, I'm at home chilling. I might be playing a video game, right. And I agreed to go on a date. And when we go on a date, you know, they expected me to pay for the date that they asked me on.
Ooh.
That's a deal breaker off the top because you telling me that you don't care about the condition I might be in. You know, and I look at that as because I was raised around a lot of powerful, respectful women. Okay. And so these women showed me how a woman's supposed to treat you when if you bruise your knee, if you bruise your elbow, you sick, you know, how they supposed to comfort you. Right. And I look for that in a woman. So if a woman invites me on a date and she expected me to pay for the date that she invited me on, that's automatically she's worried about herself more than me. Whoa. Because I might not have no money. Right. Now you done got me out here. Right. And I'm looking crazy now. I can't even pay for something that you invited me on. So that's a deal breaker off the top. So the individual that does the inviting, they should pay. They should pay all day. All day long. You don't know the position of that person. What you was telling me that I got money that I might don't have. Okay. And then I get out there, and as a man, I'm looking embarrassed because this is something you're supposed to pay for. I'm at home playing a video game. Right. I was good. Obviously, I'm good. I'm playing Call of Duty or something. Right. You know, right. But you know, so you know, yeah, that's a deal breaker. If you invite, and that's just being grown and mature. Okay. You should know that. If I invite a lady out to dinner or whatever, I'm gonna make sure I have the money to pay for that. Okay. If I don't have the money, guess what? I'm not gonna invite her out to pay for it. Got you. You know, I'm not gonna invite her out to date. You know, so okay. It just makes sense. It just makes sense. Makes sense. So yeah, that's a deal breaker. You opposed to dating a young lady who have kids? That was one of my biggest problems. One of my biggest problems is, and it's funny. This is a funny story, and it's actually the truth. It was just 2 weeks ago. I met a young lady. And we get on the phone, and she asked me, did I want any more kids? And I said, no, I don't want any more kids. She asked me why. I said, I have a 20-year-old. That's why. So I'm not trying to start back over in that department, but she really got upset. Okay. You know, she had one, and she want more kids, and nothing wrong with that. I understand that, but I'm just done in that department. I totally agree. I'm done in that department. So. You know, I always said that I didn't want a female with kids, that I didn't want to date a female with kids. And I actually just got out of a relationship of 4 years, and she had 4 kids. So, but, you know, is how she presented herself and how she treated the situation. It was professional. So I think that goes a long way, too. Right. You know, it goes a long way. And one of the things I look at, too, you hear a lot of women all day long, oh, I'm not dating a guy with X amount of kids. I don't want the baggage. When it's time for us to talk and say, you know what, I don't want to date a young lady with 3, 4 kids.
we looked at as we the worst people in the world. And myself, like I said, being married twice, for a very long time, now that I'm single, that's one of the things I take a look at.
Right.
I really don't want to raise any more kids.
Nah.
My kids are 24 and 18.
Right.
I'm not raising little babies anymore. I'm not saying that I love kids. I love kids to death. But
I want to give them back.
I'm not. Yeah, I want give them back. So that's where I'm at in my life. But is a deal breaker for me is definitely infidelity.
Right.
That's definitely a deal breaker. I'm all about communication. Let's talk about it.
All day.
Before it even get to that point, let's have a conversation. Why are you feeling this way? If I get to why am I feeling that way? We need to have a discussion. And I feel that's why a lot of couples have issues, because there's no communication.
Right.
Communication is it's out the window. And you have to know your mate. You have to know what's going on.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's how I feel about it.
Yeah. You definitely got to have communication, and you got to have trust.
Right.
And you definitely got to build a bond that's so great to a person that's outside can't break it with just presenting anything to the table or sending fake pictures or you get all that type of stuff. So that's why. Let me ask you this: how do you feel about posting your relationship or marriage on social media?
My thing is, and that's a good question. My second marriage, she loved to post. Anyone who know me, I don't like to post. I don't have a problem posting my wife or my significant other. I have no problem with that. But I'm not gonna be that one every week. We out to dinner, and I'm not doing that. And it does. And my thing is, that should not play a major part of who you two are.
Nah.
A post. What if we didn't have social media?
Man, I can't stretch it enough. I keep telling people that.
What if there was no social media?
You wouldn't be able to post it. You wouldn't be walking around with a picture of you and your family in the mall saying, "Hey, look at me and my beautiful wife." Showing it to strangers. You're not going to do that. So I look at that as the same thing as social media. You bringing people into your world when you do that.
Exactly.
And everybody is not your friend that's coming into your world.
That's right. That's right. You got to be careful with the social media. Everyone know is a killer.
Right, it's a killer. So, certain things I don't do on social media. Like I post my music, I post my acting and stuff of myself like that. But you're not going to be able to go in there and see my house where I stay at.
That's right.
Where you could pull my house up on the GPS or
right.
Or you can oh, that's his car right there.
That's right.
So you're not going to see no personal stuff from me like that.
Very private. So these are the topics we will be discussing on Real Talk. I mean, sky's the limit. Nothing is off limits. We're going to discuss everything.
Right.
So I want everybody to understand that when we say Real Talk, we coming in raw, but we will be respectful.
Right.
So just watch out for Real Talk coming soon with Orlando and Damon.
Hey, you guys already know some of the subjects that we're going to be touching on, so stay tuned. You don't want to miss the next episode. We'll have guest speaker Ron Godfrey in the house. He's an author, he's an actor, and he's going to talk about his new book that he's got coming. Stay tuned for the next episode.